Assalamualaikum and welcome to my video presentation about the current issues happening on earth today. Alright, today we are going to talk about the worst pandemic in the world for the past 2 decades, which is the coronavirus or the COVID-19 crisis. Okay, first of all, do we know what is the coronavirus? Alright, I'm going to explain what is the coronavirus. Okay, the coronavirus is from a large family of viruses that cause mostly respiratory diseases like the common cold and or the much serious one, which is the Middle East respiratory system, which happen mostly around the Middle East. Well, it is said in the name, or the SARS virus. But the coronavirus is a new strain of viruses that caught the world by surprise, because it was new. No one knew that virus or that strain of virus even exists at the first place until it showed up last year in China, Wuhan, I presume. Alright, it first started. Okay, now we're going to talk about how it started at the first place. Okay, it is started. Firstly, it was a few minor cases or small cases first identified in the Hunan province in China, which is on a seafood wholesale market. Because and at first, scientists believe that the virus came from a zoonotic origin, or the virus came from animals, which is, for example, bats, because the straits are, what I can say, is almost the same as the bat flu. Okay, now scientists has confirmed that the virus came from a zoonotic origin, or for the simple explanation, that the virus came from animals. Simple. The transmission, however, is probably because, well, you know the story about it. Bats are being eaten in China because of traditional medicine. Okay, scientists have proven that the coronavirus came from or originated from zoonotic origins or animals. How did that virus transmitted to us at the first place? Well, this is easy, because as we all know, the mainland Chinese, or in mainland China, people still uses traditional medicines, and bats are one of the main ingredients to create traditional medicines. So the virus is transmitted to us, transmitted to humans during the cleansing process, where the virus transmitted to people when they are cleaning the bat carcass in order to make traditional meds. Okay, next, how can we keep ourselves from the disease? Simple. The Malaysian health ministry has, well, gave us the clue, the steps, the SOPs, standard operating procedures, how to keep ourselves from being infected by the virus. First of all, whenever you go outside, whenever you want to go to the store or anywhere where they are crowded, enclosed, and there's the probability of being infected is high. We are recommended or required to wear face mask. Okay, now how does the coronavirus spreads towards other people or spreads or contagion or infect everybody else? Okay, as we all know that the coronavirus is an airborne type disease, which means it can be transmitted to our saliva or the infected person's saliva, the water droplets from speaking directly with them, the nasal discharge or the runny nose from sneezing, from the sneezes of the infected person, or the cough, which disperse minute and small water droplets which contain the virus to everyone else, to the whole area where he is. This is why whenever we're about to sneeze or cough, we need to close our mouth like this, so that we don't infect anybody else and does not make anybody else feels disgusted. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the symptoms of the coronavirus. If you manage to get yourself caught by the coronavirus, you are infected, you are required to do your 2 weeks of quarantine. Yay, alone time, which gonna be, let's say, hell. If you don't know and don't have anything else to do, okay, it will be categorized to 3: common, less common, and the serious ones, which can be life-threatening and even deadly. Okay, the first of all, the most symptom that you will see first during or after the 2 weeks of quarantine. First of all, you're going to be in a fever, a very long fever, a high fever, which can occur for more than 2 or 3 days. Second, you are going to have dry cough, which is dry cough. And thirdly, you are going to be experiencing a very, very tiredness, fatigue. You will feel so low in energy. You will feel so tired even though you haven't done anything at all at home. And second, now we are going to the less common symptoms of the coronavirus. First, you're going to experience aches and pain all over your body, backs, shoulders, stomach. You never know where are the pain is going to strike. Second, you're going to have a sore throat, always having a dry and taste in your throat, which is not ideal for anybody. That is just horrible to taste a lot. And next, you are gonna make a spitting contest from where you are to the toilet. You are going to experience diarrhea from if you got infected by the coronavirus. Just imagine running in and out of the toilet multiple times just to make caca. And then you are going to have conjunctivitis, where the folklore of everyone have ever been infected by conjunctivitis that you are required to wear black shades to prevent anyone from getting infected by you, which is, to me, is just plain no, doesn't make sense at all. But you say, never disobey the elders. And after that, you may experience a very very strong headache, a very painful one, which enables you to stand or do anything. And then you are going to have the symptom of losing the sense of taste and smell. If you are infected by this coronavirus or the virus itself, you can't taste. You lost all the sense of taste. You can't even taste sweet, sour, smell something sweet, something stinky, something foul smelling, or we just smell nothing. Smell nothing, or just plain. How does plain taste like? Curiosity. And lastly, you are going to exhibit rashes on your body. Rashes there, on your arm, on your pits, on your stomach, on your back, on your neck, anywhere, your body, or discoloration of your fingers, making your fingers pale, so to speak. And now for the heavy stuff, the symptoms that can kill you. First of all, difficulty breathing and shortness of breath. Well, this is obvious because the virus does attack your respiratory system, which make you hard to breathe and make your breath feel short. This is why for the late cases or the patients that are in ICUs or intensive care units are required to breathe through ventilators to help the body supply the oxygen they needed to stay alive, unless someone decides to pull the plug. They can't survive without the ventilator until they are fully recovered from the disease itself. Second heavy symptom or serious symptoms that can be shown by the patient is chest pain or high chest. How can I say this? Let's just simplify it as chest pain. The most serious patients shown is the inability to speak or move. They can't do anything else. They can't even talk. They can't even move. And now I'm going to present how do we prevent ourselves from getting that virus. As we all know, it can be spread. It's an airborne disease. It can spread through our saliva, our runny nose, our cough, and our sneeze. From our tiny droplets when we sneeze or cough. Now, how can we prevent ourselves from getting infected by the virus? First of all, the most common thing and the most loudly heard by everyone is always wash your hands every time you touch something. Always wash your hands, keep your hands sanitized, always carry a hand sanitizer in your pocket or in your handbag just in case. Second of all, always wear a mask whenever you go out, when you go outside of your own house, doesn't matter if it's close, far, open areas or confined spaces, you are required to wear that mask to prevent or to avoid from being infected. And it avoids, just like this mask right here, it prevents from foreign water droplets from entering your body or entering directly to your face, to your mouth, etc. Third ways to prevent from this one thing, from being infected. Third, don't touch your face when you have dirty hands or unsanitized hands. Just avoid it all. Just avoid touching your face unless you are pretty sure that your hands are absolutely clean, or you just sanitize your hands and you can do whatever. Just for namesake, just avoid touching your face. Other than that, we are required to cook our food thoroughly, especially meats and eggs, just to make sure that all the virus or anything that is on the meat before it was cooked dies during the cooking process because of the heat from the pan, the skillet, or what are you using to cook the meat or the eggs. Other than that, if we are required to avoid individuals that are showing the early symptoms of the disease. Lastly, always cover your mouth and nose when you are sneezing. And now we are going to talk about how the world is keeping up with the coronavirus. As we all know today, the numbers of patients are keep rising in certain countries, and some countries they are recovering from this massive pandemic. For example, Malaysia today, we are having the highest recovery percentage from the whole world. We are number one for coronavirus recovery. The number of cases being dropped significantly after the Prime Minister announced PKP or RMO, the Movement Ordinance, or in bahasa Melayu is Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan. And then it extended for 2 weeks. We expect it to end in 2 weeks, and we extend until where we are right now, which is PKPK, Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan Pemulihan, PKPP. I'm sorry about that. PKPP. The whole world is looking at us Malaysians on how we tackle the pandemic itself. Now we are going to say about, someone at the top of everything, the highest case, the country that are being affected the most from this virus, from the land of the free, the United States of America, which to say, with the political situation in the US alone, no wonder that the number of coronavirus cases has skyrocketed to the roof. 2 million to 3 million active cases alone in the United States of America. A staggering of 400,000 deaths. Second is Brazil at 1 million cases. With 1 million cases and 50,000 deaths by today. Third is Mother Russia or Russia at 500,000 cases and 8,000 deaths. And then we have India coming in fourth with 400,000 deaths and 13,000 deaths, which is roughly around 5,000 more people than Russia. And lastly, the Brits or the British or UK, United Kingdom, 300,000 cases and 42,000 deaths. Now, with the last part of this presentation, which is how and what the coronavirus caused and the effects on the world itself. First of all, the life, populations of the nation struck fear in everyone about the virus, which made almost making some countries fall into total anarchy because of the virus itself. Second of all, it caused the fall of economy, the world economy. This is because with the pandemic on the rise and people are scared and governments or countries performing lockdowns, restricted movement ordinance, but most countries are performing lockdowns, which is in order that all the citizens of the nations to be inside of their houses. Lockdowns, completely lockdown, completely lockdown. Business cannot be open. Business can be open. All the malls are closed. Everything is closed. Even the city park is closed. No one can get out of their house. No one can go anywhere. Just sit tight at home with the mandatory curfews and everything. So basically, with everyone at home, there are no business to run. There's nothing going through. There's no economy running anywhere in the world. Period. With each country's government are trying to feed or provide or to help the citizens through this hard time, which taken from the nation's reserve, just to help all of its citizens. With now the situation, which is everything is coming back to normal, everyone can go to work with the new norm of wearing the mask, keep your hands sanitized, and social distancing, which is 1 meter apart or more from each other. The economy now is trying to rise up from where it's out when it was. We Malaysians are currently doing our best to bring our economy back to life. Alright, that is all from me. I would like to thank Hakeemie and Zul, which is my groupmate, on how and for all the infos and for making this thing possible. Assalamualaikum and good night.